Welcome into this edition of Inside Broncbuster Athletics. I'm Mike Pilosof. Pleased to be joined as we focus in on the men's basketball team this week with, I guess we can call him center slash forward slash swingman, Khadim Samb, who's a transfer from the University of Idaho, joins us. So we appreciate you coming on the show.
Thank you very much.
You've had a long journey just to get to Garden City, which is probably an understatement. So you're born in California.
Yes.
Then you lived in the Senegal for a few years,
Yes.
moved back to the States when you were about 6 or 7. You lived in Georgia.
Yes.
What's been the most interesting part? And we didn't even mention that you lived in Idaho because you transferred from Idaho.
Yeah.
What's been the most interesting part of your journey to get to Garden City?
I would definitely say how different the area is from, the places I've been. It's just a new landscape. I've never been to Kansas before. So, it's just a whole new landscape, and I love it so far.
How much do you remember when, coming from the Senegal, which you and I were talking before the interview, big soccer, big basketball country. Soccer's big everywhere as far as international. So what was it like just making the transition, and how much do you remember when you first moved to the United States? Again, you were 6 years old.
Yeah, I don't remember much. I remember vivid, situations and certain things, but the transition, it was pretty good. I already knew English, I already knew the basics, so, transitioning in wasn't bad.
So I mentioned soccer over there. Did you play soccer?
Yes, I did.
How did that go?
Pretty good. It's just, you have a lot of your friends, a lot of group of people, so it was just a fun area to be around.
Do you remember the first time or how old you were when you first picked up a basketball?
I was a kid. I would say that my dad, he just, would put sports on me and just see what I would love as a kid, and I would just love playing basketball. I had my little, Fisher Prize, had the little basketball, and I was always fascinated about the sport alone.
I know you've dealt with some injuries. Back, you did end up redshirting it at Idaho, and then you came here, and you're still dealing with some tightness that you just suffered the other day in practice. How much of a challenge has that been? And really take us through what the injury actually is.
What the injury is just like, it's my disc. It's a bulging disc. And at the time, it was just hurting my back, and I redshirted from Idaho. And then when I came here, just to transition, I would say it's not the same problem as it was. It's just like a tightness in my back.
How much of a challenge has that been for you, though?
It's been challenging, but now that I am more educated on my back, like knowing things about my back and the injury, I've noted like how to prevent it, things to do, and that's helped me a long way.
Okay, we've talked about you coming, your long journey from the Senegal to California to Atlanta to Moscow, Idaho, and now to Garden City. What's the experience been like, because you've been here for a few months? What's the experience like in Garden City?
Right now, I haven't met a lot of people. I haven't been out. I've been focused on basketball in school. But the experience so far is, I love the experience. I would say my teammates, that's the experience I love the most. And that's because, to me, it doesn't matter where you are. It's the people who are around you that make the place. And my teammates, I've known them for 2 months, but it feels like it's been a year. And they're just family. I would call them family already. So for them, they made my experience here so far a great experience.
What's the adjustment been like from D1 to junior college? And again, you guys haven't played a game yet, but just, from the dorms to everything, what's the adjustment been like?
I would say the adjustment, of course, like the dorms are completely different. Just the food situation, certain things, but other than that, everything's been the same from a basketball standpoint. I would say our coach pushes us as hard as he can every day for us to improve. That's just like a Division I, school. So other than that, basketball is the same, I would say.
If you had one word to describe Coach Dewey, what would the word be, and why that specific word?
I would say inspirational. And why I would use the word inspirational is because he motivates us to push ourselves to a higher level every single day. And as an individual, if you push yourself every single day to get better, you're going to get better. And he wants us to achieve our goals. So for him, it's just inspirational how he just wants us to be the best every single day. And that standpoint, you can see by Otero. He put Otero on the map and basically made them a way better team. And from that, it was inspirational how you could take a team that wasn't so good and become a top team. And I know he's going to do that same situation here in Garden City.
Take us behind closed doors, and I had a chance to view practice and meetings this week, but what's it like and how intense is Coach Dewey from the meetings to the film sessions to practice? And I know you haven't been able to participate this week, but what's that like? What's behind the scenes. Take people behind the scenes with this team and what it's like with Coach Dewey.
Oh, it's amazing. I was like I said, he's a hardworking person. So every day he wants us to work hard behind the scenes. He wants us to strive for our best every single day. He encourages us to be like a family too. So behind the scenes, it's amazing.
The reason you came here, so I know there's some ties because Coach Dewey sent some of his guys from Otero to Idaho. Raquandis Mitchell, I know who you know. So why ultimately, after you played a year and then redshirted, why Garden City?
Why Garden City? Well, I have two teammates that played for Otero and played under Coach Dewey. And speaking to them, they were telling me the great opportunities, how amazing of a guy he is. They were just giving me all great things. And as a friend, like I was close to them, and they would tell me the truth all the time. So in me picking a college, I wanted to pick the best situation to where I could form a relationship with the coach and just better develop on myself. And trusting my friends, who are basically like family, I trusted them and what they said about Coach Dewey, and I came in and exactly what they said is what happened.
What was your experience like at Idaho?
My experience like in Idaho, it was pretty good. I mean, I was a freshman. I didn't know much. At the Division I level, of course, you have to work a different way, but my experience was amazing. I learned a lot from there. I learned a lot, and with knowledge, you can go far.
You guys have had to be quarantined. You've had practices start, restart, shut down. Take us into the mindset of an 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old student athlete of how that's affected you. How has that? Because you start, you stop. I mean, it's got to be frustrating.
It's extremely frustrating. I mean, we all just stayed positive. We all try to do our best to, just look at the greater side of things. It was tough, of course, but I mean, every day we try to do something to get better, whether that's doing sit-ups, push-ups, and the one that were in quarantine, probably like run on the track or get a jog in, anything to prepare ourselves. But of course it was tough. We would like to play every day, but because of the situation, it didn't end up that way.
Because you're a Division I transfer, do you feel like you have something to prove or something more to prove this year?
Yeah, I would say I'm on a mission to just be the better person, just be the best athlete I can be. And in that way, I just want to prove just everyone that, like, I don't know how to explain it. Just like being slept on, I would have to say, like, a lot of people sleep on certain players. They don't see them like in a certain way. I want to prove that I'm a hardworking person, and my goals are I want to reach them as much as anybody, and
Even with talking to Coach Dewey, and you, I'm glad you mentioned being slept on, because even coming out of high school, there wasn't a ton of interest.
Yeah.
So do you kind of feel like that serves as maybe a little motivation for you now?
Oh, that's huge motivation. I mean, I've seen a lot of guys in my time that I like. They're just like me. They have more publicity, though. They have more, attention, and they received other things and more offers. And in my opinion, I just seen that as a way to just get better and keep doing better. And I look at Jimmy Butler for that too. He also was not a guy that was really had a lot of attention on him. He went JUCO, he went to Marquette, and then ended up at the Bulls. And he ended up in the NBA. In that standpoint, I look at that as, I mean, I may not have a lot of attention and interest in me before, but I'm going to shock the world and show everybody, what they were missing on.
Lastly, and kind of tying into all of this team, you guys don't get to actually play a game till January, which seems like it's forever away. But you're in there every day. You're in the meetings. You're in the practices. You're with the coaches. How good can this team ultimately be?
Oh, we can be very good. We have a very talented team. And I'm not just saying that because, you're interviewing me or anything, but we're very talented. Everyone gets in the gym every single day. Everybody handles the things they have to do. And I haven't been on a team where that was the case. And even when I'm not in the gym, I see people there even longer. And seeing that, it's like they want it. And a team that wants it, they're going to be successful. And so this team is very talented. Everybody's just a great piece of the team.
Well, we're looking forward to it, man. Like I said,
Yes,
man,
sir.
January can't get here fast enough.
Yeah.
So appreciate you coming on.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right.